with young Gunlock there. Hello, young Gunlock, joining us in studio. In studio, we've got Mom, Julie Gunlock. In the control room, Cameron's getting to hang out with Julie's kid, who is so excited to be here.
I'm paying him.
You're paying Cameron?
$30 an hour.
Wow. That's a pretty good rate.
He's going to hold me to that.
Man, that's the D.C. babysitting rate.
That's
We're a
right.
lot cheaper
That
in
is.
Farmville. You can just drop your kids off down at our place and save a lot of money.
Not after that chicken incident. We don't.
The chicken's gone.
I know, in a pot.
It was that the victim of our rooster?
No, that was Henry, the middle.
Okay,
son.
I don't want to name
Still talks
kids.
about
I don't
it.
want to name kids.
Oh, sorry.
No. If you want to name your kids,
Yeah.
it's fine. But I'm not going to out anybody's children
Yeah,
in this
okay.
political environment that we live in. So
Good point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad that. Just again, tell Henry that I think that was Silent Bob that went after Henry. Silent. We had Jay and Silent Bob as our roosters. Yeah, and then Jay died mysteriously. Silent Bob ended up in the stew pot. So yeah.
If you just find them dead, you don't eat them.
No, you don't. If you just find them dead on the ground,
I'm a fairly urban guy.
Right.
I'm just trying to make it clear. It's not like thing died. It's probably good to go.
Exactly. No, I'm
Probably good to cook.
I'm old fashioned in that the animals that I process and put down myself, I'll eat those. If I just find a random,
you're not going for roadkill.
Not so much. Or if I just find a random farm animal that shouldn't be dead and now all of a sudden is dead, no, I'm not going to go eat
Seems
that.
sick,
No.
but
You make me so happy. I live 1 mile from a Safeway.
Hey, listen, we had this conversation yesterday with Tim Brent, former NHL player, who went bear hunting and got
I
got
saw
death
this.
threats, right?
Of course. Yeah.
People were saying that his daughter should be killed because he went bear hunting.
Yeah.
And like Tim can afford to go to the grocery store.
Right.
But Tim wants that,
I get
that
it.
experience. But I'm
get it.
glad you live next to a grocery store
yeah.
too.
I remember when you were moving down to Farmville, I sort of had this week of thinking that would be really fun. And then I realized I would have to actually do things. And
I hate things.
Me too.
And doing them.
Me too. I am lazy. I am no Miss E. I am so lazy. So I'm very, despite my issues living around here.
Well, I'm glad that you're with us in studio today.
Well, thanks.
Alongside Curtis Lichter. I would classify Julie Gunlock as a militant normal.
Well, definitely militant.
Definitely militant. Mostly normal.
Most of my neighbors think I'm
Yeah, listen, you'd be considered way normal if you lived anywhere outside of the Beltway.
I know.
You're the odd duck here inside the Beltway.
Yes.
But you're also somebody who I think, Kurt and I have been talking about what it takes to push back against the elites, and you're doing it. When you see something that you say, this is crap,
Yeah.
at your kid's school, for example, you don't just sit there and accept it. You say, hey, this is crap. Even if they don't want to hear from you, you're talking about this.
I fight with the school every single day. And
she's doing it for you, young Gunlock. You need to be listening to what your mom's saying right
Fight
now.
the power.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. There's a lot of moms demand action. Moms at my school, they're very aggressive. They're very rude. I had a battle with one earlier this month.
I haven't even
had
heard
a little
about
fight with
this.
Shannon Watts on Twitter. She has not blocked me yet.
She
Really?
just blocked me.
I'm sure
blocked
she
me?
has. I'm sure
I
she
think
has.
it's because I made fun of the name of her organization, Moms Demand Action. I'm like, what's that say about your husband?
It is a very bad name.
Yeah, that's not. No, ladies, no. That's
that's not good.
But I think there's some truth there.
We had a
I
mom.
don't think they're married to particularly masculine men.
don't either.
I don't think these are
I
take
don't
charge
either.
kind of
Nope.
guys. I don't
Hey,
think
listen,
Mr.
okay.
Watts is,
Don't get
going.
Don't get distracted.
We're going down this road.
Right.
This is a journey.
Stay on topic.
He's trying to.
Come on,
he's trying
Porkin,
to
stay on
make
target.
my one remaining friend say, "See you later."
So you got into it with this mom.
Yeah, she was
earlier this
passing
month.
out information on a Moms Demand rally on school grounds, and the school has rules that you can't pass out any, political information, any leaflets, anything like that. Which we know last year during the walkout, the gun walkout at my school for fifth graders, they did. Moms did pass out information. The school kind of took, sort of looked away. But
Well, it's not political. It's just about
it's just
life.
safety.
It's safety.
It's about safety.
It's about safety.
It's about the life of kids. So anyway, she was passing out information, and the school actually issued a statement saying, "Don't pass out information."
Keep your commie crap to yourselves. Leave our kids alone, you freaks.
So this woman actually went around the next day and was sort of saying to people, "Did you tell on me? Did you tell on me? Did you tell on me?" Now, I didn't even see it. But she apparently was telling people, was it Julie Gunlock? Was it Julie Gunlock? And so I approached her and I said, you know, it was not me. So stop saying it was me. And then I told her it's not nice to gossip and she should really be kinder. And she got very angry at that. But, you know, again, she really felt, she said to me, again, what you just said, you know, this is about student safety and about gun safety, and they don't. That's their new line. That's their new argument, that it has nothing to do with guns. It has nothing to do with banning guns. So, yeah, I don't only push back on sort of the city government and the school. I push back on when parents do this kind of stuff, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Well, and
That would be a little fun.
Maybe a little.
I mean, I'd be all, you know, it wasn't me, but it totally would have been.
But
yeah.
You goose-stepping fascist freak,
Well,
get out of my face.
I did tell her. I actually don't agree. She had a Mom's Demand Action T-shirt on. I said,
Oh,
you know, I don't really.
God.
I know. And I said,
Even your shirt is ugly and stupid.
I said,
No one loves you.
I said, well, you support me when I bring pro-life information, right? Or an information about maybe a pro-gun rally. Will you support my right to? And of course, you know, no. She's totally intellectually inconsistent.
Sure.
Of course. This is not a surprise.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, women don't like this kind of stuff. I mean, I know you do, but most women don't really like to be too confrontational. They want to just get along. The other thing that's important is you can cost
They're not Cuban like my wife, are they?
You can cost your kid friends. You know, you got to be careful of that. You know, you don't want them.
You know, I kind of, Arena and I, because we live in deep blue
Oh, that's right.
LA.
Yeah, that's right.
And we just don't care anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I just
I'm getting
don't,
that point, too.
refuse to care. If some
Yeah.
mom doesn't like us because, you know, I like freedom, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to do exactly what I want to do all the time.
I know.
And if they don't like it, I don't want my kids around their puny mutant children. These children will someday serve my children. You know, because they are not achievers, they are losers being sheltered from different ideas.
I really wish he lived here.
Yeah, and you know, it just. I think we were talking about the power of no earlier. No, you don't get to tell me anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to do exactly what I want to do all the time.
Yeah.
That's my counteroffer.
Yeah.
And it's non-negotiable.
And that is the key. Now, sometimes, you know, again, when you're dealing with, it's one thing if you're dealing with, you know, a handful of activists who are trying to get you to change your mind, and you say no, and there's nothing you can do about it, and then they go away. It's another thing, again, when they co-opt those institutions, right? When they co-opt the local school board, when they co-opt the city council.
And you know, this city is a one-party town. They all
Right.
sit and pat each other on the back. There's no pushback.
We're banning straws.
Yeah.
So many penguins will live because we've banned straws.
I don't know if our town has done that yet.
You need to check into that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know
Don't worry,
I know
it's-
the penguin population in Alexandria has been growing exponentially. So.
Yes, that's true.
So I do want to ask you, though, about something that I saw yesterday, because this goes back to the idea of, again, the normals, quote unquote, being told what to do by these elites here,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so this is such an inside the Beltway topic. I'm sure it hasn't even really gotten on anybody else's radar, but so there are a couple of women who are in this are in an ad supporting Brett Kavanaugh, right? Saying, I know Brett Kavanaugh.
I've known
This
him
is
for
the Brett
20
Kavanaugh
years.
that
Yep.
I know. And a couple of these women are married to Facebook executives who are based here in D.C.
Yep.
And so this has now, among at least some quarters of the left, turned into an outrage. Facebook is supporting Brett Kavanaugh,
Yeah.
which is not the case. But then when you brought up, I think you brought up the fact, okay, no, they're not
These are
employed.
spouses. These are spouses of Facebook, right? They're of Facebook executives.
Yeah.
And they have their own lives and their own careers. And so I love this
Can
narrative.
women do that?
Yes, I know.
That's a violation of leftist Sharia.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing is this leftist reporter basically says, like you said, you know, Facebook's in the bag for Kavanaugh based on the fact that a spouse of a Facebook executive is sitting in the audience supporting Kavanaugh. And so my question to this reporter was, are you suggesting that the spouse of this executive should shut up and stay home? I mean, that's a pretty provocative position to take for a leftist.
Why won't
right?
he listen to the voices of women?
No, I know, I know. And then he said he thinks that people need, you know, he gave the most predictable response, saying that he thinks that people need to know that Facebook is supporting this candidate for the bench that will, you know, roll back women's rights, LGBT, you know, rights, all this stuff. And again, that's not Facebook's position. It is the spouse of someone who works for Facebook.
Yeah, it's a cheap,
But it's
cheap
an
attempt to
it's an attempt. What it is an attempt to rile up the left mob to go after Facebook
Right.
to cause problem for these women's spouses,
Right.
And then because
Right.
we've seen this,
Right.
Your
Right.
spouse acted badly, you've got to go now.
Yeah.
Your spouse said something that's just unconscionable. Oh, people are so upset about what your spouse said, so you've got to get fired.
So what we need to do is, I guess, according to them, we should then monitor what other spouses of Facebook executives do. Are they supporting Planned Parenthood?
But
Are
that's
they
okay.
supporting? I know.
It's only about
but that's
health.
the thing. I know. But if it's never. It never
Every-
bothers them that they're so intellectually inconsistent.
Julie,
It just-
everything is a lie and a scam.
Yeah.
Everything
Everything.
they say is a lie. And
It
if you
is.
just understand that, you're kind of at a zen, peaceful place. Because you know it's all crap.
It is, yeah,
It's
yeah.
all crap. Don't you? It's like, don't start with your talking points. Just try and power it through. And
Right.
I will try and power you not to.
Yeah.
We'll just freaking fight it out, because I'm not going to play these manipulative little games where you're pretending that you care about rights and diversity and all this other stuff that you don't give a damn about.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm getting mad because you're insulting my intelligence. If you just want to freaking arm wrestle, let's do that. But don't try and grift me. Ain't working.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do I damn well please.
Yeah, and I think the grift is obvious. This isn't. This is political theater. This
Yes.
is off
Oh,
Broadway.
this whole Kavanaugh thing is
No,
political
but it's
theater.
but it's off Broadway. I mean, this is not even summer stock in terms of community political theater, right? This is really bad. This is like when you have to go watch your kids perform, the elementary school play. No offense, young Gunlock, you were fantastic, by the way, as tree number 3.
Great performance of the
he's so
Crucible,
he's so
except it
confused
wasn't
right
supposed
now.
to be a how-to.
No, he's not even paying attention.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Show me what this does. But I mean, it is so obvious. It is so transparent. You
Yeah.
can see the strings. This is, and again, unless you are a blind partisan, that's what I've been struck by over the past week. I've talked with folks who are not really political.
Yeah.
They're not on Twitter. They're not on Facebook. They're working. They're raising their family. They don't have time to be involved in politics all day long. But what they've just seen casually, they are
Appalled.
They're appalled. It's what the hell is going on? I've heard that more than once
I've
this
said
week.
a million times. I live in a deep blue city, right? And like you, I do actually have a few friends here, like 2. Anyway, no, but I have talked to a number of these women about this case, and everybody just sort of sighs and rolls their eyes. I mean, these women are on the left, and they are sort of rolling their eyes and going, "I am uncomfortable with this," especially the ones who have sons.
Yeah, they have sons, they have
sons,
husbands, they have brothers, and
fathers.
30 years later, somebody can go, "Remember that party? Remember when you grabbed me?" And it's like, "What part? Who are you? Huh? What?"
Well, a lot of the women that
Must
I'm talking,
believe the women.
Yeah, and
Unless they're Facebook executive wives.
of course. But it does strike me though how, again, just like you said, these women are not on Facebook, they're not on Twitter, they're not in any way out there talking about it, but they're not convinced. They're not convinced by this sort of leftist narrative that we have to believe all women and presumption of innocence is out the window.
Women know better than anybody else.
Yeah, well,
some women lie.
That's the thing.
Okay,
So they're human.
Okay,
Women
but
are human.
to that end, let me quickly do our armed citizen story and our. I won't do our deal of the day. I'll save that for tomorrow. But I want to do our hero of the day and I want to do our good guy today before we have to take a timeout, because our good guy actually speaks to exactly this. So if we have our graphics ready, our hero of the day comes from KGET, Bakersfield, California. Taft, California. Kurt.
Whoa.
A Taft
That's
mother.
near Mendota.
A Taft mother held a burglar at gunpoint in her home until police arrived on Sunday morning, all caught on surveillance cameras. 25-year-old Rogelio Velasco snuck into Brittany Morse's home, stayed there for 3 hours. Morse said he approached our house around 6:19 in the morning. I didn't find him until 9 a.m. She said, "We woke up in the morning. My kids were saying your laptop's missing." While looking for her laptop, her 7-year-old daughter, Aubrey, first noticed Velasco in their garage. Mom said she opened the door. She sees him there. She slams it shut, screaming, running back to me. Mom got all of her kids in one room. She grabbed the gun that she bought just 2 weeks ago. She cornered him from the doorway of the garage as she called 911. She said, I told the dispatch, I believe he has a knife on him. And I told him, you come near me, you take one step towards me, I will shoot you. 2 minutes later, Taft police arrived. And thankfully, mom and kids are okay. Taft police says that they have not seen a case like this. Mom said if he would have come into the house with me and my children while we were awake, I don't know what he would have done, but I wasn't going to sit there and find out. So Taft, California, Brittany Morse, protecting herself and her babies. She is today's hero of the day. Now, our good guy of the day from my Columbia Basin, Pendleton, Oregon. This story actually goes back to 2017. And there was an officer there in Pendleton, Oregon named Chris Freeman. Got a call from a young woman who accused her stepmom of assaulting her. So he goes out, finds the woman, and he arrests the mom. But he also listened to her, and he listened to her stepdaughter. And he thought that there was more to the story. He found out that the stepmom's husband was in prison, serving a 50-year sentence for sexually assaulting his daughter, this woman's stepdaughter. His wife was convinced that he wasn't guilty. And Corporal Chris Freeman felt like the young woman's story just didn't add up. According to the police chief there in Pendleton, Oregon, he had a hard time believing what the daughter was saying. So he keeps talking to her, starts doing some legal research, tries to educate her on how you can challenge a wrongful conviction, starts talking to the wife of this man. Did it all on his own time. The wife follows his advice. Chief says she pursues everything the officer tells her to do. She gets the Oregon Innocence Project to take Dad's case, and that project got its first ever exoneration. At the time of the trial, the daughter had testified she never reported the abuse because her father killed her dog and threatened to kill other pets. Then they found the dog alive and well, and the other parts of this daughter's story began to crumble. Last month, Deschutes County DA John Hummel apologized to this man, dismissed all charges, and now facing a 50-year sentence, this guy has been exonerated. Thanks to the efforts of this corporal who, again, listened to this story, did some investigating on their own. Corporal Chris Freeman in Pendleton, Oregon. He's our good guy of the day.
Yeah.
But can you even acknowledge this story in today's day and age?
No.
Am I going to get written up by Media Matters for praising this police officer who got to the bottom of the story?
But the Daily Roundup. But thank goodness he didn't believe #BelieveAllWomen, right? I mean, he.
Well, and listen, he went out, he took the report, he actually made the arrest.
Yeah. Yep.
But he kept listening.
Yeah.
Right? And he kept investigating.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a matter of disbelief. It was, okay, based on the knowledge I have now, that's enough for an arrest. But we're going to continue this because I do have some further questions here. And that is are you allowed to have that point of view today?
Well, sadly, no. And we're seeing, it's as I've been watching this Judge Kavanaugh sort of travesty, I've been reading a lot about men who were falsely accused and even convicted, have spent, decades in jail, and then something like the Innocence Project takes them on. And many of these men were accused of rape or sexual assault. The number of black men who are falsely accused of assault and rape, it's much higher than white men. It's something. It's interesting. Again, this disconnect with liberals who seem to be so for justice reform, and yet willing to sort of throw out the presumption of innocence. It's really an odd thing to watch in our culture right now.
Absolutely. Julie Gunlock with the Independent Women's Forum on Twitter at jgunlock, online at iwf.org. Thank you so much for coming to studio. It's so good seeing you today.
And congratulations on your book.
Thank you. What you mean,
What
Militant
book?
Normals?
Yes, Militant Normal.
That one.
I want a signed copy.
Okay.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.